NFL rivalries aren't just game, they're life events. You circle the date, throw on that nacho-stained jersey, and text your rival buddy, "Prepare to cry." By kickoff, you're screaming at the TV like the quarterback is secretly listening. These matchups aren't football, they're family feuds with helmets. Equal parts joy, rage, and broken remotes. Let's dive into the top 10 rivalries that keep us coming back for more chaos. Number 10, Bears versus Packers. If rivalries were rock bands, this one's the Rolling Stones, ancient, iconic, and somehow still packing stadiums. Kicking off in 1921, Bears-Packers is the NFL's oldest feud, played more times than your uncle's bad dad joke. Green Bay leads with 108 wins to Chicago's 96, plus a few ties for spice, and the vibe is pure Midwest. Frozen Lambeau breath, bratwursts, and Chicago fans glaring at Wisconsin like they insulted deep dish pizza. What makes it eternal? History. These aren't just teams, they're institutions with 22 combined championships. Every era has its legends: Lombardi, Peyton, Favre, Rodgers, each adding fuel to the fire. The Packers even ripped off an 11-game streak, 2019 to 2024, treating Soldier Field like their vacation home. Still, Bears fans keep the faith with that eternal line. Next year is ours. Cheese versus sausage, pride versus pride. This one never dies. Number 9, 49ers versus Cowboys. If Bears-Packers is about history, this one's pure drama, a soap opera with helmets. These two have clashed 9 times in the playoffs, each game feeling like a title fight. The Niners lead the series 21-19-1, but Dallas edges them 5-4 in the postseason. The rivalry's highlight reel is NFL folklore, The Catch, in 1981, when Joe Montana floated it to Dwight Clark and launched a dynasty. The 90s brought peak fireworks, Aikman, Irvin, and Emmett versus Young, Rice, and Dayon, sometimes switching jerseys just to spice things up. Every January, Showdown felt like the Super Bowl before the Super Bowl. Fast forward to the 2020s and the playoff sparks are flying again. Cowboys fans and Niners fans will argue dynasty bragging rights until the sun burns out. But deep down, they know the rivalry is what makes both legacies shine. Number 8. Steelers versus Ravens. Some rivalries are about history, this one's about pure hate. Since Baltimore showed up in '96, Steelers-Ravens has been less football game, more bar fight in pads. Pittsburgh leads 36-27, 3-2 in the playoffs, but nearly every matchup feels like it ends 17-14 after 4 quarters of trench warfare. This is defense porn. Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, James Harrison, legends who turned games into highlight reels of violence. Broken helmets, bruised ribs, and baseball-style scores are the norm. Fans don't tune in for finesse. They tune in because Steelers-Ravens isn't a game, it's survival. Number 7, Giants versus Eagles. The I-95 rivalry, one highway, 2 cities, and zero willingness to admit they share anything but road rage. Since 1933, the Eagles have a slight edge, 96-89-2, and in recent years, they've owned the Giants. See, that 38-7 playoff beatdown in 2022 that sent Philly to the Super Bowl. This feud thrives on chaos. The miracle at the Meadowlands, Giants-Eagles, Deshaun Jackson's 2010 walk-off punt return. Also Giants-Eagles. These games don't end quietly, they detonate. Add in 2 fan bases who treat football like religion and trash talk like holy scripture. And every matchup feels like Thanksgiving dinner with your loudest relatives. Forget sitcoms, this is primetime drama. Number 6, Cowboys versus Washington Commanders. Some rivalries feel like family drama. This one is Thanksgiving dinner served on national TV twice a year. Dallas leads big, 79-49-2. But every Washington win feels like the underdog cousin flipping the table just to prove a point. The roots run deep. In the 70s and 80s, these two fought for NFC dominance, capped by Washington knocking Dallas out of the 1982 NFC Championship en route to a Super Bowl. Even when both teams are struggling, the hype never fades, because in the NFC East, bragging rights matter as much as playoff spots. Cowboys bring the star power, Washington brings the history, call them Redskins, football team, or Commanders. One thing hasn't changed, the hate. Number 5, Raiders versus Chiefs. Some rivalries age gracefully. Raiders-Chiefs aged like whiskey left out in the sun. Born in the old AFL days, this matchup is fueled by geography, division races, and decades of bad blood. Kansas City currently leads 75-55-2, but don't let the numbers fool you. This rivalry has been nasty from day one. From cheap shots in the 1970s to epic shootouts in the 2000s, Raiders-Chiefs has given fans everything from brawls to barn burners. The Chiefs have dominated the Patrick Mahomes era, but that hasn't dulled the intensity. Raiders fans still see Arrowhead as enemy territory, and Chiefs fans still mock the silver and black like it's a civic duty. Add in the fact that both teams were AFL powerhouses before the merger, and you've got a rivalry that's as much about pride as points. This is football's version of a family feud that started in the 60s and never got resolved. Number 4, Browns versus Steelers. If Steelers-Ravens is the modern blood feud, Steelers-Browns is the original sibling rivalry. Pittsburgh leads the all-time series 82-64-1, and for decades, it felt like the Browns were the little brother who couldn't quite land a punch. From 2003 to 2009, the Steelers won 12 straight games, turning Cleveland fans into experts in creative swearing. But then came January 2021, when the Browns shocked the Steelers 48-37 in a playoff game in Pittsburgh. For Cleveland, it was like winning the lottery and finding out your ex is still single on the same day. This rivalry is fueled by geography and grit. Both cities pride themselves on blue-collar toughness, and both fan bases will tell you their suffering builds character. Maybe so, but it also builds one heck of a rivalry. One where every win feels like an emotional therapy session, and every loss feels like a Shakespearean tragedy. Number 3, Patriots versus Jets. If you love drama, Patriots versus Jets is your guilty pleasure. Forget Shakespeare, this is daytime television. The Pats lead the series 75-56-1, thanks in large part to a 15-game win streak between 2016 and 2023 that made Jets fans question their life choices. But the Jets will always have 2010, when Rex Ryan strutted into Foxborough and beat New England in the playoffs, silencing Tom Brady and the Hoodie for one glorious week. This rivalry is messy. Coaches have swapped sides, Spygate scandals have fanned the flames, and then there's the butt fumble, which Jets fans wish we'd stop bringing up, but we won't because it's hilarious. What makes this one special is that it's not just about football, it's about New York versus Boston, pride versus arrogance, and the eternal hope that someday the Jets will find a quarterback who doesn't come with an expiration date. Number 2, Bills versus Chiefs. Not all rivalries need 50 years of history. Sometimes 2 quarterbacks are enough. Enter Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. A rivalry so good, it feels scripted by Hollywood. The Chiefs hold a 5-2 playoff advantage, including the infamous 13 seconds game in 2022 that broke Buffalo's collective soul, and the AFC Championship win in January 2025 that once again left Bills fans muttering, maybe next year. What makes this rivalry irresistible is the pure entertainment. These games are fireworks shows disguised as football, deep bombs, overtime thrillers, impossible throws. Every meeting feels like a Madden highlight reel come to life. The Bills may lead the overall series 30-26-1, but until they take down Kansas City in January, Chiefs fans will always have the last laugh, and that sting, that's what makes it a rivalry. Number 1, Falcons versus Saints. It may not always steal national headlines, but in the South, this rivalry is king. Since 1967, Atlanta and New Orleans have traded blows, and as of 2025, the series is perfectly tied at 56-56. You couldn't script it better. Falcons fans loathe Saints fans loathe Falcons fans, and the rest of us just enjoy the chaos. It's more than football, it's culture clash. Atlanta's swagger versus New Orleans soul, from Drew Brees versus Matt Ryan shootouts to playoff grudge matches, every game feels like a backyard brawl. And with the record dead even, each new meeting feels like the one that could tip history until it doesn't. That's what makes it perfect. And that's the rundown of the NFL's greatest rivalries. 10 matchups that prove football isn't just a game, it's generational drama with helmets. If you had fun riding, don't just leave me hanging like a kicker in overtime. Smash that like button, subscribe for more football stories and breakdowns, and hit the bell so you never miss when we drop the next big rivalry deep dive. And until next time, stay loud, stay proud, and may your team always come out on top, unless, of course, they're playing mine.